Welcome back, everyone. I'm glad you're here with me this week. I actually need your help to start our lesson today with a little game. This is called the Things That Go Together game. I am going to show you a picture of something, and you are going to tell me the thing that goes with it, okay? So, for example, I would say pencil, and you would say paper. Get it? Got it? Good. Here we go. Okay, first up is peanut butter. What goes with peanut butter? Jelly does. Jelly goes with peanut butter. Next we have a hammer. What goes with a hammer? You got it, a nail. A nail goes with a hammer. Okay, now here we have some salt. Can you think of something that goes with salt? Right, pepper. Pepper goes with salt. Next we have macaroni. What do you think goes with macaroni? Right again, cheese. All right, our last one is a toothbrush. What goes with a toothbrush? You got it. Toothpaste goes with a toothbrush. Okay, I know, that was a really easy game. Some things just seem to naturally go together. Well, when we say we love Jesus, the Bible tells us that there's something that should go along naturally with that too. The Bible says that if we say we love Jesus, we should prove it by the way that we act. Those two things should go together, just like peanut butter and jelly. The things that we match together in our game belong together because one makes the other better. And when you have both, you have the best combination. As we read the Bible, we learn that there are two things that God says must go together too. They're called faith and works. So faith is what you believe. It's your love and your trust in God. And works means the things that you do with your faith to help others or to show God's love. Works really just means the good things that you and I do. The Bible teaches us to put our faith into action. So think about this question. What good is it to believe in God if we don't share God's love with others? When we experience God's love, it grows kindness inside of us. It causes us to care about others, about our family and friends, our neighbors, and even people we haven't met yet. Like 2 weeks ago, our church threw a little drive-by parade and tossed candy to people just to try to spread some joy during this difficult time. And a week or so before that, a lot of people from our church went through their food cabinets and picked out some food to donate to the food pantry. The food pantry is a place where people can go to get groceries for free if they don't have the money they need to get food to feed their family. Faith and good works must go together. We need both faith and action to make a difference in our lives and in the lives of other people. First, we believe, and then we act with love. Because faith without works is kind of like this.
Welcome to our first socially distant magic show. This is the magnificent Matt the Magician, and our first magic trick will be taking a normal, ordinary red balloon. Some magic words, Matt?
Abracadabra.
And Matt is going to take this needle and put it through this balloon without its popping. Here you go, magnificent Matt.
All right. Take this needle, just stick it right through.
Matt, that magic trick wasn't magic. Are you ready to try the next one?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Our next magic trick will need a volunteer from our lively, lovely audience. Do I have a volunteer?
Me, please pick me, pick me, no, me.
Yes, ma'am. You seem to be our only volunteer. Would you please come forward, have a seat, and give us one of your socks? And Magnificent Matt will take this ordinary sock and this ordinary egg, and with some magic words,
Abracadabra.
he will take this ordinary hammer And do what, Magnificent Matt?
I will take this ordinary hammer and hit every inch of the sock without breaking the egg. Now behold the unbroken egg.
Thank you for volunteering, and here's your sock.
That wasn't magic.
For our final magic trick, we need a volunteer from the audience. Can we have one more volunteer?
I want to. Pick me. I will. Over here, I will. Me. Pick me.
Thank you for volunteering. Please take a seat. So we're going to take an ordinary newspaper, turn it into a cone, and this ordinary water. Feel this water, ma'am. Is that water? Yes. And then Magnificent Matt will pour this entire pitcher of water into this newspaper right over your head, and
You won't even feel a drop with these magic words. Abracadabra.
That wasn't magic.
You see, faith without works is like a magic show with no magic. Check out this Bible verse from the book of James. He says, "What good is it, dear brothers and sisters, if you say you have faith, but don't show it by your actions? Can that kind of faith save anyone? Suppose you see a brother or sister who has no food or clothing, and you say, 'Goodbye and have a good day, stay warm, eat well,' but then you don't give that person any food or clothing. If you don't help them, your words are worthless. It's the same with faith. If it's just faith and nothing more, if the faith doesn't do anything, then the faith is dead." What good is it to say that we believe in Jesus if we don't do what he asks us to do? That's dead faith. Living faith will cause us to be different. It will cause us to want to do what Jesus says. Living faith means we're going to do what it takes to get that person the food or clothing they need. We should be willing to help anyone, anytime that we have the ability. If we love Jesus, then we will love like Jesus. If we aren't doing good things, then our faith will never really show. We may really trust and believe and love Jesus, but no one will really see that if we don't show that we care. It's really important to understand that we don't do these good things to try to please God or get him to love us more. God already loves us more than we could ever imagine, no matter what we do. We do these good things because of all the good things that God has done for us. God wants us to have living faith so that others can meet Jesus too. Listen to some stories from a few of my friends that are your age. So, Christian, tell me about that time at the carnival.
Well, me and my friend Noah were walking, and then we saw this little boy running, and he fell on the ground. I went over to ask if he was okay and asked if he needed help getting up. I wanted this stuffed animal caterpillar at the carnival. I asked if he wanted it. He said no, but he still held it onto it while he was on the ground.
How did you feel when you did that?
Good, like it was the right thing to do. Jesus in the Bible always taught to be nice, and I wanted to help the boy and be nice, and I also thought it was the right thing to do.
What would you tell the kids who are listening to you?
That you can make a difference too, even if it's something small. No matter how big or small it is, it'll at least make someone's day.
So last week I painted some rocks and I wrote Bible verses on them, and when me and my grandma went to walk around the block, I put them on people's mailboxes. I did it because since we're in like a pretty hard time, I thought that maybe I could lift people's spirits with the Bible verses. It felt very good. Even a lady wrote me a card that said thank you when she saw the rock. She was just very thankful for it, and it made me very happy.
Do you feel like you have living faith or dead faith, Jayla?
Living faith.
Why?
Because I feel that I love to help people. I do love to help people. I love to make people happy and to lift up people's spirits when they're sad.
What would you tell the kids who are listening to you right now?
Even though you might be young, you can still show living faith. You can make people happy. You can lift their spirits, especially during this hard time.
When I was in 5th grade, there was this kid who had a little disability. He couldn't make friends as easy as some people. He would always get left out, and when he would be put in a group of people, they would ignore him and not use any of his ideas. One day, when we were coming out from gym, he was in the hallway in front of me, like far in front of me. He tripped and fell, and I saw it, and I was still walking because I thought someone would help him up, but then everybody kept passing him and ignoring him. And then when I finally got there, I helped him up, and he asked me to be his friend, and so I was his friend. And then every day in Spanish, I would be in his group. I would help him with his work. I would be his partner if he didn't have one. And I would sit with him at lunch, and I would talk with him. The reason why I felt like I wanted to help him up that day was because he didn't have much friends, and he was crying. His glasses were broken. His headphones were broken.
How did you feel when you helped him up that day?
I felt like I was doing something for the Lord. I felt like I was doing something that Jesus would have done.
How long have you been following Jesus?
Since I was really little, about 3 or 4 years old. I feel like my faith had a lot to do with what I did that day, because I felt like God was sending a message to me and saying, help him up and be his friend, and saying like, Jesus would do that, so why don't you do it also? And be kind to him. I feel like I have living faith because if God sends me a message or tries to get me to do something, I will answer it. It's kind of like if God is calling you, like on a cell phone or something, and people who have living faith would answer it and do what he says and listen to him. But people with dead faith would decline the call and ignore it. I would tell the kids that are listening right now to do what they think is right and do what Jesus would do, because it makes you feel good, and it spreads kindness to others and show them what Jesus is like.
So last year I went to the downtown mall with families and friends, and we started to get hungry, so as we were going to a restaurant place to eat, we were planning on getting dumplings, and then I see a guy holding a sign that says food, water, money, please help me. And my mom orders our food, and then I decide to go and share my food with him and give him water. And then as I go back in, Mom was videotaping me and said, you made a big difference. And then she gives me $20 to go give it to him. And so he says thank you, and then I gave him a hug, and then I went back in there, and then I started crying because of how good I felt.
So why did you feel like you wanted to give him your food?
Because you never know how long ago they could have eaten. It felt really good because I knew I helped someone and make their stomach full. I have been following Jesus since 1st or 2nd grade.
Do you think that your faith had anything to do with why you did what you did?
My faith made me feel like I needed to do it. And plus I wanted to. Sharing faith, it doesn't matter if it's big or small. It still matters, because if you help something or someone, it makes them feel good, and turn to God and say thank you and stuff to God for sending this person to help you.
Do you feel like you have living faith or dead faith?
I have living faith
Why?
because dead faith is when you don't do anything about it, and living faith is when you do something about it.
We do good things to show others how good God is. When we show kindness, or when we love, when we serve others, we point people to Jesus. That's living faith. My friends who just shared their stories with you, they don't have faith without works. They don't have dead faith. They have living faith because they show it by the way they live. What about you? What kind of faith do you have? Hopefully, it looks a little bit more like this.
I got the magic in me.
Okay, Magnificent Matt, let's do some real magic.
Abracadabra.
Everybody knows I got the magic in me. When I hit the floor, the girls come snapping at me.